Is this a TikTok trend? News. I can only imagine these guys are trying
Yo,
to
for
figure that out.
real. But yeah, Chainsaw Man. Yo, this has up there with Bleach has had some of the biggest hype coming into the fall season.
Yeah,
Obviously, we've
for
talked
sure.
about Chainsaw Man on the podcast before. We've talked about the manga, and
Hmm.
we dove into the manga story because we knew it was getting. There was rumors of this getting animated.
Yeah, boy.
We talked about it once it got the official announcement, when we got the first teasers, when we got the first look, the first trailer. There was a lot going into this. So this had its premiere at New York Comic Con. So Chainsaw Man, the first episode was
Yeah.
played at New York Comic Con. Unfortunately, since I was there as a professional and stuff like that, um, my schedule was a little tight, so I had an interview scheduled at
Hmm.
the time the panel was going on. So I couldn't make a reservation to
Hmm.
attend the panel, listen to the English dub voice cast, talk about the show, talk about Denji, Makima, Power, and all Aki, all these dope characters that we're going to be talking about and following throughout the show. And then get to see the first episode on that gigantic ass screen that they added to the
Yeah.
main stage in that beautiful new building, in that beautiful new room. No, I mean, it's like, I was like, damn, that was an experience I wish I walked out of New York Comic Con 2022. But either
Yeah.
way, it is what it is. I just had to wait a couple more days to watch it on Crunchyroll when it dropped. And man, Mappa did not disappoint here. Mappa did not disappoint here from the opening.
I know people were worried about the CG and everything, and there was that like leak that I saw from like someone that recorded it from
Oh, the
the
potato can footage that
potato
was
can
going around.
footage. And like, I mean, once I saw it, I was like, there's nothing wrong here. Like, this is, I mean, yeah, it's noticeable that it's CG compared
Right.
to like, the 2D art. But actually, I will say, even the 2D art, the way it's drawn is a little bit more 2D-esque. I think to like make it a little bit smoother transition.
Right,
But like,
right.
I think it looked great. I mean, like, I
It,
didn't
it
have,
looks it looks really good, to be completely
yeah,
honest. And the way that they've been pacing the episodes, kind of combining, two chapters per episode.
yeah.
The pacing has been spectacular. That we're getting to the shits rather fast and kind of
Hmm.
rather dragging it out, kind of like the manga does, where you get a little more in depth as to why Denji is a devil hunter. The debt that his father left behind and stuff like that. We don't really get too much into that in the first episode, which is okay by me. We don't really need to,
Yeah, I feel like it gives us enough to like
it gives
understand he just was dealt a shit card.
exactly. Life
Yeah.
just dealt him a shitty hand, and he's been trying to do the best with that the cards he was dealt. He's trying to make the best out of it. And just life just did not work out the way he wanted it to work out, which is how he ends up becoming the Chainsaw Man. But I mean, overall, these first two episodes have been super solid. I think the voice actors, the Japanese voice actors so far have been able to capture the essence of the characters, from the source material. Denji has, that softness, that humility
Yeah.
to him and whatever. But he does have that viciousness to him once he gets,
Hmm.
angered, or he has that drive to want to do something, or he needs to fuck somebody up, essentially. So seeing all that kind of brought to life, seeing Makima being brought to life and given a more vivid personality, just picturing
Hmm.
it on the manga pages. The same thing with Aki, the same thing with Power, seeing
Yo,
all that.
power definitely,
Yo,
power sounded like power.
Power
100%.
Power definitely sounded like Power. I think Aki, that the
Words
voice actor
right
for
off
Aki
of
is,
the words right off
everything.
the page.
I think everything so far for Chainsaw Man has been nailed from top to bottom. And I can see why Mappa took their time with this.
Yeah.
We didn't really want to show you too much. Just dive in with as little as visually, with a little visual information as possible, and just
Yeah.
enjoy the feast. And it's giving me the same animation that they use for Jujutsu Kaisen. It has some of the
Hmm.
same color palettes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
the filters and whatever. But it's still recognizable as its own thing,
Yeah, it
which is
does
great.
feel still different. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just Mappa being Mappa. I know people give Mappa a lot of shit, especially from the business side of things, and we're not going to focus too much on that with this review. But I think they delivered so far. I've enjoyed everything.
Yeah.
They haven't held back from censoring anything. You get the
Hmm.
blood fest, you get the
For
demons
sure.
getting this shit blown off. Bro, seeing powers, demon powers, like
Hmm.
the way she was just able to just
The
whip out
blood
that
mallet.
blood, the blood. I was like, bro, that was smooth, bro. I loved it. I loved it so far. I'm enjoying it. Everything I'm gonna say about Chainsaw Man is gonna be positive. You guys want to hear more positive stuff about Chainsaw Man? Go back and listen to our manga episode. We fully dive into. I think it was like 3-4 volumes. I think it was that we dove into. So there's a lot that we covered from the
Yeah.
manga, and we're just barely scratching the surface of what we discussed in that episode in the anime so far. But that's all. That's all I personally got. How about you, Boozer?
Hey, listen, you took all the words out of my mouth. I just I think everything's hitting. It's very early on. 2 episodes.
Yeah, right.
Not like a ton of major shit happens. Aside from him,
Yeah,
becoming half human, half devil. Also, if you liked the if
becoming an
you
actual anomaly and shit, because he's
yeah,
essentially
they
well
she
him.
literally said there's not a word for it.
Yeah, well,
And
they gave it a
power,
word at
because
some
power is
point.
an anomaly as well.
Yeah, because she's a fiend essentially.
Yeah,
That's the word they eventually give them. They
but
become
she's like
fiends.
can like act like a normal person essentially.
Right.
Yeah. Well, normal is normal power can
No
get.
more for no more for her.
Yeah. But if you like her like blood mallet power, you should check out Noblesse. I think it's like 12
Oh, gonna
episodes.
bless you.
Noblesse. Yeah. I don't know if you ever checked that out when it came out, but
No, I was going to. It's
vampires,
still on my list.
yeah,
I
vampires,
started the
great
first
animation.
episode, and I think I fell
And
asleep. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm
yeah,
gonna go back.
the main character, the no the like main like character that it focuses on
Mhm.
has like blood power, like blood manipulation power, like kind of like power does. Really
Yeah,
cool shit.
that's dope. That's dope. But yeah, Chainsaw Man has been everything about it has been great. The feels, everything.
Yeah,
Like watching Pochita, seeing Pochita and
bro.
that, bro. Come on, dog.
How
Come
you
on.
how you gonna get my heart strong? How you gonna get my heart just aching for a little dog with a nose that's a chainsaw?
Come on. Come on. Come
Also, when
on,
it started speaking to him,
bro. I
come
knew it was
on.
coming. I knew it was coming. But I was like,
Yeah,
bro,
absolutely.
you ain't have to hit me. Right? You unbreak my
Don't.
heart, please.
This is episode 1, man.
For real. Episode 1. Take your time
I
a little
knew it
bit.
was coming. I knew it was coming. It had to.
It had to. But listen, looking forward to episode 3 because now we're starting, we seeing them starting, close off the vicinity because there's a big fight coming already. This is only the
Hmm.
3rd episode.
Yeah,
Obviously, we
there's a
know
big
that
one coming.
there's a huge fight that's gonna last. I would say maybe 2 episodes
Yeah,
tops.
and a lot of stakes
Um,
in that fight too.
yeah, there's a lot that sets up for the future of the story
Hmm.
with this fight going. So I'm really looking forward to see how that fight is animated, how it flows and stuff like
Hmm.
that. The soundtrack that they use for it. It's just a lot of exciting stuff to look forward to when it comes to Chainsaw Man. So I mean, listen, the good thing about reading the manga is that the spoilers,
Hmm.
but to experience it in animated form,
Oh
to
yeah,
see how
it's a different feel. Yeah,
to see how it all comes to
to
life
see
and how
things
they
in
present
movement
it. Mhm.
is always going to feel different, even if it's something you
So good.
you know what will happen. It's just a treat still to see thing because like again when things are drawn, you can't draw every frame, you can't draw every
Exactly.
motion, you can't draw every action. So being able to see that all in an anime it does change the experience because you are seeing a lot of things that your mind has to fill in the blanks for.
Exactly.
When you see someone slash in on a manga page, you're probably going to see 2-3 frames of that. But then when you get to see it, it could be more impactful the way it's done, the way it's drawn or
Hmm.
anything like that. So it changes the experience. So
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I thought that reading ahead of a couple because when we talked about Chainsaw, I knew like I was like, okay, well, I rarely have like read the manga before the anime. And I knew this one was coming, but it doesn't ruin it. Same thing with Spy Family.
Yeah, we did
The
the same thing
the
for
the
Spy
manga is great and
Family.
the
We did
anime
the
has
same thing
been
for
a treat.
Orient. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, I mean that's probably one of the main reasons we're going back to Orient for a little bit why we were so disappointed with Orient is
Yeah.
because like bro. The manga,
The
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 manga just
visuals
hits.
are pretty cool. Yeah, and story wise, it does get more interesting and more intriguing with some of the themes and concepts. And the art is pretty like it's pretty nice. Like it's really nice
Yeah.
in the manga. Very well drawn, really nice. Like the main the fire demon or what the red demon
Hmm.
that we first are introduced to, in the story is like really dope looking in the manga.
Yeah. Oh,
And then it's so
so
simplified,
flat.
and
So flat.
yeah, and like some moments it looks like it's only 2 stories tall, and then some angles it looks like it's a skyscraper tall in the anime, but like in the manga it looks gigantic. It just
Right.
looks
Hmm.
like us. It looks like an 8 story tall monster. But in the anime it just changes sizes. Like it just feels like it's
It just don't
not
hit.
that big
It
at one
just don't
point and then
hit.
huge at another.
This
Yeah,
is
it,
one of
it
those shows I probably wait till it's completely done.